Like, I think I'd just like be in the best shape of my life. I think my skin would be glowing. I think I'd finally be able to prioritize the athletics that I'd like to in my day to day now. So
You're
I
saying
think
you're gonna get fit to run from the zombies, is what I'm hearing.
I think that I'm not going to get fit before running from the zombies. I
Mhm,
think
mhm.
that I will be so determined to run from the zombies that I will get fit. I think that like the zombie apocalypse will be my glow up story.
Welcome to Horror Movie Survival Guide, Disco Citizens, the podcast where gorehounds
And best friends, Terry Gamble,
and Julia Marchesi break down a different horror movie each week,
exploring a multitude of genres, subgenres,
and subgenres,
classic and cult,
international,
and underground flicks alike, determining which films are the goriest,
and offering up Horror Movie Survival Guide tips
to help you stay alive. Oh my gosh, Julia.
Ooh, Horror Movie Survival Guide. I am Julia, and
I'm Terry. Yes.
Tell
And
us
Julia,
the
I'll
news.
tell you. Okay. Oh my God, Julia, we have a guest today. So excited. This is a friend of mine, and we've been talking for over a year about her coming on the show. So I'm really excited. Kristin L. Wallace is an LA-based writer. She's known for working on Nickelodeon's Baby Shark's Big Show, which is so cute. She's a comedian, local Juggalo impersonator, and a Twitch streamer originally from Washington, D.C. After honing her funny bone at a woman-run comedy show in New Orleans, Kristin has created critically acclaimed shows in Los Angeles, including the multiple runs of her whiteface minstrel production, White Dime. Like, what a wild, wild human. I love you so much, Kristin. Welcome to Horror Movie Survival Guide.
Thank you. I love you, Terry, and so nice to meet you, Julia.
Nice to meet you as well. And Terry's a friend of mine.
Yes, Kristin also runs karaoke in the greater Los Angeles area. We might share a venue sometimes, and we have to tell people we're not the same. I just
We're
say
not the
she's
same
my child. That's my child. So glad you're here. So, Kristin, let's start at the beginning. When did you fall in love with horror? Tell us about your life, or what brought you to the genre, and tell us about you.
The day I was born, I did not.
Yes.
Well, literally, the day I was born, I did not cry. I did not cry until the doctor stuck their finger in my mouth, and that was the beginning of my hoe phase.
Okay.
You're like, no gag reflex from birth. Yeah, that's right.
That is like so not my reality right now. But anymore, I should say. But anyway, I since birth I have loved Scooby-Doo. And we'll get way into that later, but I think that I mean, I know that was my introduction to horror, and I love the format, I love the mystery. You know, it was everything sans the blood. It was the story, the red herrings, everything. The color palette. I love Scooby.
Is he your favorite member of the team? Who's your favorite member of the mystery squad?
Shaggy for sure. I think that he was hot. My first cartoon crush was Bugs Bunny, and then it was Shaggy. So Shaggy naturally. And here's my qualm with Scooby. He's a dog, okay? And I like cats. I don't dislike dogs. I do dislike like poorly trained dogs. And
so
Scooby's actually pretty.
You should remake this with a cat, right? And it's just like a whole different, like it's like an alternate universe version.
I don't like cats in peril.
Like, you don't want to see them in trouble.
Mm-mm. Yeah, I think it's okay when dogs are in trouble, but like, right. You know, you guys have seen, honestly, maybe the first horror movie I saw was Homeward Bound. Honestly, it's terrifying.
It is traumatizing.
It's terrifying.
See, this is like this whole year, Julia's like, we should do like Good Boy or whatever. And I was like, I'm too scared to watch it because I know the Bane dog is okay, but I've heard talk about one of the other dogs in the movie not being okay. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to see that. I'm too stressed. I'm stressed. But we probably will cover it at some point because so many people want it. I know I have seen the thing. I've seen lots of dogs in peril. You're right. I just don't like seeing animals in peril if I don't have to.
Right.
But like knowingly.
Like cat would never be putting itself in danger like that.
No. What if it was a stoner cat? That makes a difference, right? No, I've lost you already. I can see you on this concept. No,
I'm like,
swivel back to you. Your horror beginnings.
my cats, Tugboat and Esper, judge me for smoking weed. So it's again, it's just like I don't know. Cats
will judge you for anything though. Like my cats are mad judgmental about every move I make, and I'm here for the like little peanut squad or whatever that are just like the little peanut gallery that are like, what are you okay with your choices? What are you doing? You're gonna eat that? Ooh, that doesn't even smell good. They'll come and smell it and just walk away. So I don't know.
Gaming, they're always judging me gaming.
Yeah. I was feeding them dinner before I started, and they did not want to hang out and eat dinner. They were like, I don't want to see what's going on the screens. I don't want to know what's happening on there. They don't want to see the people. I was like, all right, it's fine. It's fine.
They knew we'd be talking about a dog.
Probably. But before we get to, I know I jumped to horror, but I also want to know like your genesis as an artist, like because you're a writer and an all around like comedian and bon vivant of Los Angeles. Can you tell us, I guess, how you like when you fell in love with art and kind of tell us your genesis for your writing career?
Yeah, I went to a primarily white school in Washington, D.C. I was the only Black girl in my graduating class. And there were only 52 people in my graduating class.
Oh, my goodness.
So that was a horror story in itself, but more like a later in life horror story sort of thing where I'm just like reflecting on like, oh my God, that was scary.
I think you should write a horror movie about that.
A pedophile taught me how to sing.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I had a pedophile also teach me how to sing. My first choir director is also in jail.
A gay pedophile, but
same.
Yeah.
Same.
I wasn't a little boy.
I wasn't a little boy either, so I didn't have to deal with that portion of it either. But that's kind of crazy. Similar genesis from my very first like private school choir as well. So with also predominantly, Anyway, what a time.
That is like not that. Well, my parents separated when I was 10, and I feel like my dad was more of the one that would play like rated R stuff. I didn't see my first rated R movie until 2005 or 6. I told my mom I was seeing Happy Feet, and I went and saw the Outcast movie, Idlewild. Remember? I like never hear about that again. I've never seen it since, but I can remember like it so clearly because I was
just like, blow your mind?
Like revisit. What was that? Sorry, Julia.
Did it blow your mind?
It blew my mind. It taught me what cunnilingus was.
Nice.
I didn't know what that was. I was just like, they go down there.
I feel like Sinners is doing that for a whole nother generation.
Yeah,
true.
I mean, Sinners is kind of like Idlewild sans vampires.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
But I started really getting into horror when I was an emo kid. So like 7th and 8th grade, which was, I'm like, sorry to put a date on it, but like 2004, 2005 for me. So it's about 20 years a horror fan. But I would watch.
So we're talking about Dawn of the Dead. You're talking about Romero's Dawn of the Dead, or you're talking about the new one?
The 2004 Dawn of the Dead.
Okay, we'll still be your friend, even though we are big. We worked with the Romero Foundation for the last couple of years and did a show with them as well. And so we're very, we love the OG, like, you know.
Have you seen the original one?
Have you seen? Yeah.
No.
Okay, that's your assignment today,
and I'll take it.
Okay,
I'll take it.
You'll be delightfully surprised. It's tremendous.
No, I know I'll love it. I'm just like very like new metal to my like core. Mm-hmm. Like I'm so like 2004, 2005.
Yes,
like,
you are. You are the embodiment. I could attest to that. Yeah.
I love that shit. It's so like it's so delightfully bad, it's
Yeah.
good. You know, like that
Yeah.
is like I love every like, you know,
That's
like
your era.
juggalos, delightfully bad, it's good. I love to consume.
Okay, you just said Juggalo, and I need you to. We talked about in your intro that you were a Juggalo impersonator. Can we branch off? Can you tell us when did you fall in love? Was this the era you're falling in love with the Juggalos as well? And how did you end up being a Juggalo impersonator?
This is really close to the era that I started falling in love with the Juggalos. It did kind of like come in line with horror, because Juggalos love horror movies. Innately, they're scary clowns. Um, I did see
Monster
it.
core.
I saw the
Mhm.
first It. And I do want to. One of my goals this year is to read it.
Yes,
Ooh.
it is. I have read all of Stephen King's work, and I can tell you that it is my favorite. So hopefully you enjoy
Okay,
it. But here's the question: if Pennywise didn't exist, would Juggalos exist?
I don't think so.
They're based on the scary clown kind of. I mean, we got John
Yeah.
Wayne Gacy as a scary clown in real life, but it feels like, because there's even the band Pennywise, which is in that same sort of music.
Did John come after it,
What
or
came
did
out?
he just John Wayne Gacy, or did he?
Oh no, that's beforehand. He was in the 70s.
Yeah. Okay. I just know that. Yeah. Just I don't know why children have a fear of clowns.
They're creepy as hell, and they've always been scary. I think the thing about them is no. I mean, if you like, as students of theater and history, and like looking at like the grand tradition of many clowns and clowning and stuff like that, a lot of it was like kind of nefarious. It was like drunkards and things like that were doing like these sideshows, not kind of stuff back in the day.
Yeah,
It
I
was
was in
always
the
kind of
clown
had a.
community.
That's what I'm saying. It was like
And it was culty.
it is.
Really?
It's very
Mhm.
that. There's different like factions of it. There's kind of like the gutter punk clown situation, you know what I mean? There's always been, I feel like, that underbelly of like,
But
doing
now
weird tricks and
clowncore
scaring children. Mhm.
is
Fine.
mainstream now, though, right?
Yeah, fine, you guys. Clowns are scary or whatever.
But
So
like,
sorry, just letting you know.
I would like to ask if you know, how did the Juggalos have a drink that became their thing? Like, oh, Faygo. I'm like, Juggalos drink Faygo. I'm like, why do I know that? What is that? Why?
I don't know the history of it. I think that they just embraced, like, for example, I'm from DC and we love Rock Creek soda. And I think that Faygo is like, because I don't know if you've ever gone to Galco's, like the soda shop.
Yes.
To
Yeah.
Julia for her birthday one year for sure, but she's also a regular there. She loves random weird snacks
You-
from around the world.
Like,
So that's a great place.
Faygo is kind of bougie. It's like
Is it?
it's bottled in glass. Like it's I mean, yes, you can get the 2 liters, which is probably like what they were getting at the dollar stores, but yeah, I went to the March of the Juggalos in 2017.
Tell us.
And I got interviewed by Bustle magazine because they thought that I was actually a juggalo. And I just
Sorry. That's incredible.
well, because I wanted to go, I wanted to observe. I didn't
Mhm.
want, I wanted to fit in. And I had actually been on stage with Insane Clown Posse the year before.
Wow.
In New Orleans. But just they invited all the juggalettes on stage, whoop whoop. So they are doing the same thing, just blending in, just being like, I kind of love this community. Like they just get rowdy. But in 2017, they marched in DC to get off of the FBI watch list.
Mhm.
And Violent J and Shaggy 2 Dope literally got up where Martin Luther King spoke and literally said, "I have a dream." And it was an out of body experience.
Yeah, I saw them in person at Jim Jeffries like talk show for a second. He had them on as well to talk about that after that had happened. So I was in the audience, so I remember seeing them talk about this and talk about that moment, and I was like, actually, I kind of fuck with that because they really are about like free speech and like all those things that are kind of on the line that like you think of the ACLU handling, or like those like
Yeah,
things like the Satanic Church, whatever, that are just talking about like the lines that get crossed along the way and
yeah.
censorship. I think they've kind of been at the forefront, for better or worse. ICP for life. I support you guys. I'm not a juggalo, but I support their cause, and I think they're doing a lot of good work,
It's all family.
for the community. Yeah.
It's all
Um, so
family.
then you started impersonating because of going to this concert and because of that, or like how does this
Okay,
segue
well,
into that?
the concert was we got a party bus to go to the concert. My old boss at Mid City Pizza in New Orleans. We closed for the night. We closed the shop for the night, and it was Mid City Pizza, MCP goes to ICP. So that was like my first like immersion. Um, and then when I was at the March of the Juggalos and the guy from Bustle Magazine wanted to interview me, I didn't want to be like, oh, I'm just dressing up and I'm here. And so I was just like, yo, what do you want to know? Like, just
You got in character immediately, right? Yeah.
hop to it. And then I got the pool quote. And I said, it's not about color, it's about family, which
Nice.
because he was like, I see you're one of the only black juggalettes here. And I was just like, nah, I got nothing to do with color, nothing to do with which is not what I believe at all. I think there's a lot to do with color. Yeah, it was just I've just
Well, I
called
always said
myself a
clowns
juggalo
were whiteface
impersonator.
was whiteface versus blackface. So like there is some like, I think through line between you doing your show White Time with also this like kind of like whiteface kind of thing as well too. So it's interesting to like feel like they're in the same kind of family.
Yeah, well, when I'm starting to put on the makeup, when I was doing the Juggalo makeup, it starts with a white base, basically. And so, like, I'm looking at myself and being like, I feel like I'm a step away from something else.
Mhm.
And I have a
Just
lot
the
to say.
intention behind the white face is like what it is,
Yeah.
right? And then you like
Yeah.
start putting the makeup on, you're like, okay, we've swerved off into something delightful.
Yeah. Well, then also, and I would explain this in the show, a lot of people, black people, white people, everybody growing up would call me Oreo, call me white, say they're blacker than me and stuff. So my show was the embodiment of what everybody called me, what my parody of what I thought everybody saw in me. So that's what inspired me to do it. Just like decades of bullying.
Yeah, no, it's the way to I mean, writing is a great way to exercise our demons. So I mean, that's I think a huge outlet. I'm glad you found that space and were able to like create like success out of it too. Do you know what I mean? Though, like seeing you do multiple runs of the show and being able to continue on is pretty amazing.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna bring back a form of it this year. I think I'm ready to take it to video because I used to be afraid, but I feel like
Ooh, you are gonna let it go to
it's kind
video
of
now.
yeah,
Why?
I think it's
Do
kind
you
of
think it's
now
just
or never.
because the world now? Do you feel like it's just now? Yeah, like you just said, now or never. The world has changed a lot.
Yeah, it's kind of like what I was afraid of happening, 5 years ago when I came up with the show was I was afraid of what is happening now in the world happening then. And so now it's already happening and I feel like, I spent the last couple of years just like watching in horror and just kind of removing myself, but I'm just like when you do that, when you get scared, you lose yourself. I I feel like for context, I just turned 34 on January 2nd. And
Happy birthday! Happy
I
belated. Mhm.
thank you. I was just like, oh my God, I think I've been in an identity crisis for like 6 years.
That'll happen every 6 to 7 years. You'll wake up and be like, "Wait, what?" Because our
Man.
molecules apparently our whole body changes within that time, and I feel like there's something about those times. Even like allergies can change in that same time frame. I think it's like every 7 years or
Yes, I'm
something like
allergic
that.
to pineapple now.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
certain things that will
Allergies
change.
can
Yeah.
come. Your food taste will change. Like what kid likes rye bread? But then when you're older, like, oh, delicious. You're like, what happened? I don't know.
That is very true. I was just like, Marvel, just give me the light stuff. It's wonderful, Wonder Bread.
Mhm.
Then you find out it's not
Absolutely.
bread.
Just
Wow.
sponge, whatever the heck is in there. Anyway, delicious. Yay, science.
Also, I
mhm.
will add this as well. My dad was always a huge conspiracy person, but just like would be talking to me about like white supremacy when I was like 3, you
Oof,
know,
it's young.
and I would just like be so annoyed by him. Like anytime he would bring anything up, like into my early adulthood, like oh my god. But like now I'm like, my brother, he was speaking the truth, and just like I'm just like
He was trying to
I've
get you ready and putting those seeds in early. You gotta plant.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, do have to plant. So now I can't say that anything is shocking, but now I'm just like, whoa.
Yeah,
Um,
nothing is shocking
but
anymore, is it? It's kind of taken that
no.
away. Like, oh
Yeah,
yeah, well,
I would
The
say
veil is
another horror.
gone.
it's so funny as horror shifts to front and center in our society, and I feel like probably maybe even like next year we might have the first horror category. That'd be very cool. At the Oscars.
Oh, yeah, they'll
Um
probably be a few years out because it takes them, like, 3 years to, like, set up a category, but I wouldn't be surprised because people have also been asking because there's also just so much strong stuff in that category, and because
yeah.
it's the genre that's literally making the box office and making them money, I mean, across the board, so
Well,
I feel like
hopefully
they
Sinners
can't deny it.
Sinners will sweep, and then they'll have to be looking at, because the horror does come around in the Oscars every once in a while. It just is very rare. So maybe this will be another time that will kind of
Yeah.
Help
give us
push the
some
Once
more.
narrative.
I'm like Sixth Sense, was that like the last
Oh man, no, because we had all sorts of
I
stuff.
mean, Get Out got for, like, the screenplay, right?
Oh yeah, Get Out, Get Out. Yeah.
Yeah,
Of
So,
course.
what are
but
the movies that I mean? Do you watch horror to be scared? Are you still scared by horror? Nice. Um, what are some of the horror movies that you've watched that have scared you the most?
um I am the queen of dissociating. And I think that it's so much fun to experience somebody else's horror for once.
Mhm.
Instead of turning on the news. Um and I think like um well, one of the first movies that did get me in that era of like Dawn of the Dead was also Shaun of the Dead.
oh,
Yeah.
hell
And
yeah.
28 Days Later, and the zombies of it all. Which we'll get into zombies a little bit later. I
Yes,
don't
we
want to
love
get up on them
zombies.
now.
We get
But
it, we get it.
also I think what took it over the edge for me and I was like, I'm a horror fan is Final Destination 3.
That one
Why
specifically.
3 specifically? Yeah.
It has my favorite moment in cinema.
Tell us.
You all have seen Final Destination 3,
Mhm.
yes.
It's been a long
When
time. Mhm.
well, the girls, you can't forget about this scene where the girls are in the tanning beds and they get trapped in the tanning beds, and then
Mhm.
it cuts to their caskets in the graveyard. As if these two high school best friends would even be having two plots of land paid for next to each other. But it's just like it's so like it's such a stark image in my head. Like if we could have transitioning phone backgrounds, I feel like it's not even morbid. It's so campy. Just like tanning beds to two caskets. Like,
Yeah, well, make you think
yeah.
Aw.
twice before you go into a tanning bed again, doesn't it? I mean, just like,
Yep.
Final Destination is also like when you're behind a truck with logs. Now you're like, nope, not behind this truck. Move over lanes.
I don't have a
Even be
license, and I think maybe that is why.
Even before that, though, when I was a kid, my parents showed up to summer camp to pick me up, and their car was, like, mangled on the side of it because a ladder had fallen off the back, and this was years before Final Destination ever was a thing, and so I always, whenever I see any truck that has a bunch of stuff in the back, I always
Yeah.
move over. Just survival tip, if we're putting it out there, horror movie
Yeah.
survival tip, do not drive behind vehicles that have stuff that even if it looks like it's strapped to the back of the car, because those holdings could always fail, and if they do, that's what's gonna come and impale you first, so just
And
get
if
out of
it's
the
your
way.
time, it's your time.
Yeah, but don't stay behind those cars if you don't need to.
Right.
Say give yourself a little bit of safety and some
But
space,
if you
okay?
do get hit by the log and you're in heaven or hell, uh, just know that it was your time.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so
Allegedly.
much.
So
Allegedly.
What is it about zombies that appeal to you?
I think, we want death to be imminent. So when they come back out of the ground, it's a lot of concerning. It's a lot of just any interaction with the dead. The movie that has scared me most and sat with me the past couple of years is Talk to Me.
Mhm.
I trust you all have seen that.
We have.
Give me your
Yes.
hand. Oh, we've covered it. Yeah, I was like, gonna give me that hand. That movie came in hard. And
Okay,
what a great
definitely listening
device.
to that.
Yeah.
Definitely going back and listening to that episode.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's
Um,
yeah. So what
yeah,
did you love about that movie? What stays with you?
um, I think, well, addiction runs in my family, and I feel like it's a lot of undertones of that, and I don't know if it's on purpose or not, but just like kids doing something really stupid, getting into it, not being able to put it down, and then it consumes you,
Mhm.
but also, um, I think all of these things have an element of Scooby-Doo in them, just kind of like kids trying to solve a mystery. Final Destination, kids trying to solve a mystery.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Some
and
of
it's
the
a
dead,
gang.
young
It's a group of
adults.
them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just like odd people coming together and having an obsession over something, even if it's, bad for them. It's entertaining for us to watch. And I think it's really inspiring that the Philippou brothers are my age, and that I feel like that opens up doors for me, and I want to take a stab at it. I'm trying to write my first horror feature right
I was
now.
gonna ask if you're writing anything like
Yeah.
that. I know you. I
Yeah,
know I've had the pleasure of hearing like your pilot, be read. I've had the pleasure of like watching some Baby Shark with your name at the end of it, and I was like, I was screaming at the TV screen.
yeah.
For you were doing your work with Nickelodeon. But I love that you're also writing some horror. That's what I wanted to know, what I wanted to hear. So you're working on a feature right now, huh?
I am, and I've not written a feature before, but I've been talking about this for like 2 years now, we're still in the talk. We got some pages down, you guys. But yeah,
Yes.
pen has been put to paper.
Excellent.
Um, but it's such a big idea, but I'm very excited because I've not seen a movie like it before. And yeah, the Philippine brothers being my age, and then Sophie Wilde being a black female lead in a movie. I know that she's um I should say brown female lead. I'm like
Yeah.
black on screen though. Reads black on screen. But I I just feel like that movie gave me permission to explore the story that I want to, that feels really personal. So
I
yeah,
can't wait
super
to
Excellent.
read
excited.
it.
Good luck. That's amazing.
Thank you. I know it's an endeavor, but it must be done.
Well, I believe in you. Yeah.
Thanks.
I do as well. Yes. So I'm going to ask if we're going to be getting into our movie here, Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island from 1998 in just a moment. But I do have to ask before that, if there was a zombie apocalypse, how do you feel like you'd fit in to it? Where would be your role?
um It's so funny because I got into writing because I would be on role play forums on neopets.com, and then I would go to like Advid Gamers, and then other forum websites. But when The Walking Dead first came out, I joined like a Walking Dead role play forum. So I um from what I wrote when I was like 17, I just know that like I'd be hot.
Mhm.
Like I think I'd just like be in the best shape of my life. I think my skin would be glowing. I think I'd finally be able to prioritize the athletics that I'd like to in my day to day now. So
You're
I
saying
think
you're gonna get fit to run from the zombies, is what I'm hearing.
I think that I'm not gonna get fit before running from the zombies. I
Mhm,
think
mhm.
that I will be so determined to run from the zombies that I will get fit. I think that, like, the zombie apocalypse will be my glow up story.
Mhm.
Like,
So you're gonna end up being like Michonne and like being out there and just being like so hot and like whipping around with whatever like, okay.
But I also love that they
Exactly.
do have
coolest.
those, like, you can listen to when you're on your runs, like, audio of you're on zombie
Yeah,
apocalypse,
them
like,
getting
they're
closer.
getting like, come on, I'm like,
Yeah.
that's pretty cute. It's pretty cute.
I think that was always my idea with that, and then I was like, I'm not paying for that.
So let us transition, if we can, to 1998's Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. The tagline for this movie is that this time the monsters are real. This was written by David Stoy and Glenn Leopold and directed by Jim Stenstrom. So what made you choose this film today?
And it's our
I
first animated movie. I'm sorry, I just have to shout that out. I'm so excited.
Wow,
After
yay!
400 plus, we're almost hitting 500 this year. So like that's incredible. Thank
Yeah,
you.
we've
So
had
yeah,
stop motion animation, but we haven't had hand
yeah.
drawn. So this is very exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, this movie is so special to me because I remember when it premiered on Cartoon Network. At the time I was 6. And I loved Scooby-Doo. I watched Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? A pup named Scooby-Doo would come on in the morning before school. So I'm just like, I love like da 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 da. It's never the monsters are always fake. Like the monsters are real. Are you kidding me? Um, I've spoken to so many people that are just like, that movie genuinely scared me as a child. And it it has very it's a great story. It has very scary elements. It was even okayed by the guy that designed Scooby-Doo, Iwao Takamoto, Japanese Angelino,
Ooh.
that learned or was self-taught drawer during the Japanese internment camps um,
Wow.
in the desert. Uh, so I just think it's so incredible that even he, the creator of the character we know and love, the physical creator, I should say,
Mhm.
um, contributed to the movie, had a few like guest frames as well, and just was just like, this is a solid mystery and a great story. And
Oh, that's
yeah,
cool.
I stand by that.
So wild. I feel like some people it's can be very went down the rabbit hole a little bit on the internet. There's like it's very divisive because some people were like it breaks the form of Scooby-Doo and then it sounds like you're the one who celebrates it though. You're on the other side of like, yes, this is what I needed to like create another thing. I feel like it gave them a whole nother life though.
Yeah, and also it like they're wrong because okay. Um I strongly dislike Scrappy Doo.
Yeah.
So spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the live action Scooby-Doo 2002 film, Scrappy is revealed as you've had, 24 years. But Scrappy is revealed to be the villain, and I had never felt so vindicated. That was like my first like vindication before I knew what the word meant. Like I was just like, you damn right. But anyway, those people are wrong because Scrappy's generation brought that along with like the ghoul school and stuff. They had been around not with the whole gang, but this felt like the first big Scooby production since like the new Scooby-Doo show, which is the one that has like all the celebrity appearances. But like this felt like very legitimized. And it's a real movie, and the character like there's some. Can I say cunty?
Yes, you
Yeah.
can.
I'm like, there's some very cunty moments throughout the whole thing that just really like, I don't know, where it's like the gang getting back together, where everyone
Yeah.
is in their life, romance.
I think
Yeah. And
starting with the end of the traditional episode that you've come to know is pretty ballsy. You're like, oh wait, this is the end of the what? And then you just kind of so you take everybody out from their comfort zone right away, and you're on a different kind of format.
well, it's also like a
Yeah.
great horror movie where they show you an ending at the beginning, right? And you're like, oh, wait. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I thought I had like done something wrong. I was like, wait, did I click on the right thing? And I was like, oh no, this is how it starts. This is giving
Yeah.
me like a freaking, normal Scooby-Doo ending of like reveal of monster of the week. Um,
Really.
Literally. We also have some amazing voice talent. I just want to shout out at the top too, like Adrienne Barbeau, who's like,
Yeah.
legend in horror, is one of like is like giving voice to the big bad in this. I also want to shout out Jennifer Lee Warren, who I love and know here in LA, amazing actor, and just a legend in her own right too, and Mark Hamill as well. So you've got like some like insane talent with some insane pedigree as well too.
And I like Mark Hamill
jumping
has
in.
the part that's like 7 lines. And I'm like, wait, that's all? Give us more Mark Hamill. Come on.
He loves that.
He's just like, I just want to be a part of it.
He probably did. He probably was like, I'm a
Yeah.
super fan. Get me in that project and like get me over there. I feel like that's like what he loves to do. Just being a wild, wild little old man. I love him.
And this was, if not the first, one of the first productions that Casey Kasem was not a part of, because an integral part of the movie is them eating food in Louisiana, which you can't really be you can be a vegetarian in New Orleans, but yeah, I
Doesn't
lived in
sound
New
like much
Orleans
fun.
no,
Mhm.
not at all. I lived in New Orleans for 7 years. I dropped out of college 3 times there.
Mhm.
And I hadn't rewatched the movies in the years, and I was just like, oh my God, like I'm like, everything everything's turning up Scooby-Doo.
Did it make you hungry for po' boys and gumbo and beignets?
and crawl daddies.
I love the beignets. I hate the powdered sugar, man. I don't need it.
Why?
It
You
just
don't like
gets
getting
all over
messy?
my every
Yeah.
time. Like they even do
Yeah,
a
they're like-
gag about it, right? Fred has it on his.
Yeah.
Mhm,
Wipe your mouth,
mhm.
Fred.
Oh my.
Yeah. They even asked, they had Billy West do it, and then they had Casey Kasem. They were like, are you sure you don't want to? And he was like, no.
Can't
That
support
wasn't
it.
it
I
wasn't
didn't
the
realize that. Okay.
yeah, but yeah, different times where you say no to a job because the character's not vegetarian.
Yeah.
Well,
But,
there's some people I
the-
think that
the-
still are like that. Like, I feel like we have to. You get asked that when you go audition for a commercial if you're doing food. I've done some food, like some sandwiches. I was on like in a Popeyes thing once, and I was like, they're like, "Will you eat?" I was like, "Yeah, I will eat give me the Sammy. Like, I will eat it."
Yeah, but this is a cartoon.
It's true. Very different. Yeah.
He's just like, no, like not even crawfish. I mean,
Doesn't
it's
want
still
the
alive,
depiction.
whatever.
Doesn't want the
So-
Yeah.
depiction.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I remember in college having this discussion with some gentlemen who I was talking about how hot Daphne is, and they were like, "Yeah, but like Velma's the real hot one," and I'm like, "Wait, what?" And they were like, "No, because she's like she's normal on the outside, she's a freak on the inside. It's totally clear." I was like, "What?" Like I had never heard that ever in my life, and then I was like, "Okay."
You heard them describe you, Julia, and you went, "Oh, I see you.
Oh.
That's me."
That's why, because somebody described me as Velma, and I was like, I don't want to be fucking Velma. I want to be Daphne. And they were like, no, Velma's the real compliment. And I was
You
like,
have
"Interesting."
elements of both with the hair.
Thank you.
And then
Yeah,
the VHS collection is very Velma.
There's
thank
also
you.
a stack of books the other direction that is
Yeah,
like
right here.
insane. So same vibe, like how Velma's bookshop in this movie is
Oh,
so
I like
cute.
that.
I knew it. I
like-
was like, that looks like Julia's like dream home. Like that
Yeah.
looks like.
That's the
It's
thing. You start off in a really comfortable place because, I mean, it feels like something's missing. Everybody is on their own path, but everybody's really happy and successful doing what they love. I mean,
It
Even
feels like
Scooby
where
and
they
Shaggy
Scooby
as
and Shaggy.
TSA agents. I was like, okay, really? But they're not just any kind of TSA agents. They are responsible for finding a contraband of food. So like the best cheeses, like all the things that are going around the world. And this is pre 9/11. So I was like, oh, that's a different job
right.
before 9/11 because it got real intense after that, where they're making you take your shoes off and stuff like that, and everything that happened after 2001. But before that, TSA was just like, you got some fancy cheese, you can't take that overseas, so sorry. And like they literally had like the lay of like the land of snacks, everything they ever wanted.
It felt
Yeah.
like I was very dubious when I saw Train Spotting 2, because how could it be good? But it's actually amazing and exactly where I feel like the characters would be. And I feel like this is the same thing. Like at first I'm like, I don't know if I need them growing up. And I'm like, well, it all kind of fits. Like Shaggy's still on snack level all the time, just radar
Yeah.
for snacks. That's why I was always like, yeah, man, I get it, man. Me too.
And they're
It's
employed.
success.
They're employed together.
Pretty
They got jobs, so that's incredible. Like, they seem like not like if they had to pass a test, they seem like they wouldn't pass the test, like, that
I
they
mean,
need to pass.
we do see them immediately get fired.
Yes.
But
they're so happy when they get fired. They're so full of delicious food.
And they had, clearly they've been trained at doing this, so they had some time there. They've been there for some time before.
Yeah. And it looks like they helped amass like all the collection of food that was there anyway. So that means they've been on it, on top of their job.
Exactly.
So, and then we see Daphne, she's on a talk show, on Chris's talk show. That's Jennifer Lee Lauren playing Chris, who I love. And she's, talking about the case of the week that they just solved at the top of the movie, which is like a moat monster. So basically just like the creature from the Black Lagoon kind of vibe, that's the monster they've gotten. And she's talking about it and waxing poetic about it, but also talks about how she misses her friends. And so immediately they're missing their friends, and Fred is running her insanely successful news show that she has. He's her one-man crew, which is just dutiful, even though they're not hooking up, they're not together, but seems like they are together, but they aren't together. Why aren't they together yet?
We understand.
Why aren't they making out? But like, they're besties, they just work together.
But they're also talking about how hot other people are. So
yes, in front of each other.
Against each other.
You're right, Kristin. We do understand that. I feel like all of us have a friend like that, probably.
Yeah,
where, like, we do stuff together.
You're my best friend.
Sometimes, every now and again, it might be a makeout, but anyway, most of the time, just besties. And so, anywho, he gets this big plan for her birthday and surprise her, that get the gang back together. And so she even forgets it's her birthday because she is kind of down in the dumps about how her show's been going. She's been wanting to really find a real ghost, and it's still been everything like it was in the old show, where it's like just a person in a mask, some sort of machine, some sort of, made up thing. She really wants to find a real ghost now. So they get together to head to one of the most haunted places in America, New Orleans.
Yes.
Did you encounter any ghosts while you were there?
Unfortunately, I did a Ouija session in one of my dorm rooms. And I hadn't realized that I didn't tell one of my best friends that lives next door to me. She was like, "You never told me that story." And I was like, "Oh, I guess like I don't bring it up a lot. I just know not to mess with Ouija boards anymore."
Oh.
I was not one of the people with my fingers on the cursor, but everybody that touched the cursor, their fingers were really cold. And I hosted the seance because I had been having sleep paralysis and I was waking up with scratches and things of that nature. So I was like, let's talk to it.
So you opened the portal and it
So
came
I
through,
opened the portal and I may have never closed it. I'm like, sorry for the state of the world. I contacted, I don't even know. I know the name started with a Z, which is a very common occurrence with people that use Ouija boards. Like the name Zaza comes up a lot. I think its name was something like Zaid or something though. But honestly, anything with a Z is demonic to me. That's a demon. If there's a Z in there, there's a demon.
Wow. So you had one encounter with Ouija board so severe you were like, ghosts exist and I'm never touching one again.
Right. Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Intense.
Yeah. Cold room, all that. Yeah.
I've had plenty of experiences with Ouija boards where crazy stuff happens. Like, I'm going to just keep going. This is great, guys.
No.
Julia is in it, but also Julia does the thing I think we talked about earlier where she's like, no monkey paw bullshit. Has a whole thing where she's like, you're very specific. You have to be very specific. Because I've even done the thing where I like flippantly was like, oh, hell, all hail, whatever, blah, 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 spirits. And Julia's like, nope, hold on, Terry, stop a second. Make sure you're clear about what type of energy you want to allow in the space, and like make sure you're very, very clear on like what the invitation is. Tonight's a good night. It's a full moon tonight while we're recording. What you can do is light a candle and set that and tell them they can leave now, and they are free to leave.
I will. And I'm going to make full moon juice. Something I learned about today. Yes.
But I mean, horror movie survival guide tips are what we are here for in real life and in film. So would they go to this very haunted estate on an island in the Bayou?
They take a ferry in the Bayou.
If they meet a hot lady in the market and they're like, "You want to see a haunted house?" And they're like, "Yes, please."
And Fred
And
says,
also,
yes, please. I'm Fred. You're hot. Let's
and
go.
she can cook. The fairy guy, Jock, my first Cajun encounter in media. I love it when
Not
he does
Waterboy. Sorry.
Not the Cajun chef? I
Sorry,
guarantee. No? Okay.
I've never seen Waterboy.
I haven't either. Sorry.
I left it on for the cats today. It was like my suggestion on my TV today. I think probably because I watched this Cajun movie last night and they gave me another Cajun movie today. Algorithm feeding us. Oh my gosh. Anyway.
But we have the word Shaw, like ma chérie. And he goes, only a fool would come on looking up in here, talking about the swamp. And it's just, your short encounter with Mark Hamill's creepy crocodile tamer, hog wrangler, crocodile tamer.
He's got his mojo running. It's right there. He's got his little mojo pig, hunting pig. I kind of want this guy's just swing over and give us 10 minutes of this guy's story. I was like, what? What's his deal? He got such a thing against Big Mona.
The catfish.
Big Mona.
Yeah.
But we don't. He's just on the periphery of this story. So little flavor.
Yeah. With his little gray eye.
And so the multiple cats in this reminded me of Sleepwalkers. I don't know if you've ever seen that
Same
one.
thing, Julia.
Yeah.
I wrote that down too. Stephen King, Sleepwalkers. It's it's a live action, but seeing some of the morphing happen in this movie looks very akin.
It's kind of this, but live action. Yeah.
Yep.
I gotta watch.
And it's one that Stephen King wrote directly for the screen. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm in it. I love that, we automatically see, they're like, is Scooby good with cats? And
no,
they all lie.
They say yes. They all lie and say yes, he is.
Well, he's like, I don't know what anybody's ever talking about, but sure. And then he's like, oh, rats.
But he doesn't think he's a dog. He goes, what, a dog? Where?
Yeah.
He's so delusional. Thinks he's a human. You're like, oh, but so what do you see when you look in the mirror then, Scooby? Do you not see a dog? Do you see a human?
He ignores
questions I have
and reflections.
They're all covered in their house.
He's like, I rebuke that. I rebuke mirrors. That's what I'm going to do tonight. I'm going to tell the spirits, I rebuke you.
That's good. Good move.
But I think I've always grown up with cats. And I think that was one of my ties to the movie too. It's just like cats hold a very, very important plot line to the evil going on, and it's just it never feels like a random curveball because of the presence of the cats. But
I do want to know the original settlers that we find out that they're actually from worship this cat god. I'm like, where do they come from? Where are they settled from that they have this cat god? Because but all right, I'll buy it.
Literally,
okay.
Because they look like they came from Plymouth Rock, not indigenous to Plymouth Rock. But it's funny they refer to themselves as islanders as well. But they're actually on Avery Island, which is where Tabasco is made. But that's where the setting is.
Yeah.
Oh, that's where the pepper that they're talking about. Yeah. Okay, so this is based on a real place. Okay, this is good to know.
But that was an island for leprosy originally, I believe.
Avery Island?
I think so.
Zombies.
Well, there you go. That makes sense. I know there were islands that were right off the coast there. So we have Miss Lenoir, who is Simone, who is the owner, who's like, yeah, the house is haunted. Yeah, sure, come on in. At first, they're a little.
Adrienne Barbeau's playing, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And she doesn't cunty tea.
Yeah, does not mind about the TV cameras.
The shoulders.
I know, the lips. Terry, she reminded me a little bit of Claudia from the Chipmunk Adventure, the same version of very severe, bitchy kind of blonde lady. My thought. If you haven't seen that one, also add it to your list. Highlight, delightful. So they're Claudia from the Chipmunk Adventure from 1987. we don't ever get to cover it on this show because it's not a horror movie. Well, it might be to some, but not in the way they intended.
Right.
Julia loves her chipmunks as well too. Just FYI, her makeup is usually inspired by them, which I love. So I hear
My
I'm here to
favorite
support it.
Christmas song is the Chipmunk song. But
That's
Oh,
right.
the Chipmunks Christmas is incredible.
yes.
Also agree. Iconic album, iconic, like all of that is so good.
So we're going to meet Beau, the very shady gardener. There's going to be antics with Scooby-Doo and cats. There's going to be some skeletons in a hole. That is going to start with some actual magic we have here. At first, they see in playback a pirate ghost, and then writing on the wall, "Get out, beware." And then we get into all sorts of stuff. So like that is it real magic? Is it fake magic? What do we think?
I wonder if Get Out, the title was inspired by that scene.
I would honestly wouldn't put it past Jordan. Like I wouldn't be surprised.
I feel like anybody in the horror realm inherently loves Scooby-Doo.
It's gateway horror for so many
yeah.
people. Like it's like how we learned about Monster of the Week and all that kind of stuff too. And like so many of the classic monsters you're getting in this. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
But I love that Simone is being so zen about them carving out her wall with a spatula in the kitchen.
They don't seem
the
happy,
fact
but
the fact she didn't immediately kick them out.
It's true. It's true. If somebody started scraping a wall on my wall with a spatula, I would not be very happy. But they do end up having to stay the night, which means they can't leave until the next morning because the ferry doesn't run at night. So now they are trapped on this island for better or for worse. And, you know, it is fun to see. I especially enjoy Fred's detachment with everything, where he's like, no, it's just a guy in a mask. It's a guy in a mask. Just a guy in a mask. You know, when they actually try to pull off, they just pull the guy's head off. I'm like, yes, excellent. That's what we want. Level up the horror a little bit. But then we're living in a weird zombie universe where a zombie could just put his head back on and be like, all right, I'm fine. Because usually destroy the brain, disorient the zombie, but this one not like that. You go, okay, interesting.
Absolutely. I feel like maybe that's one of the like silly things that they had to insert to make it not absolutely terrifying for children. I mean, it was terrifying for a lot of children. My older sister was just like, and that's when I stopped. She doesn't watch horror. But just like it really like the fact that they're just coming. I mean, also big scary plot of the Confederacy.
Yeah,
I was gonna be like, there's a lot of Confederate, and then he even gets like the like kind of like the ending.
Thank you.
He gets an ending like once they like settle his soul and they're able to ascend back, you know, to because they're basically they're all in limbo as zombies on this island because they've been stuck here because of this cat god and these cat ladies who have created you know, basically sucked all of their essences in order to stay alive. Yes, exactly, like podlings. You're right, Julia. Very dark crystal of them. And so yeah.
So they're vampires in a way, but they're sucking essence, life essence, and not blood itself. So making it a little bit more kid friendly, but like seeing Shaggy and Scooby, even for those few moments, get sucked, I'm like, nah, that's too far, man. Don't like that.
Yeah, that is a spooky element of I don't know if you all can like cite the first time we see that in horror, but I know it happens in like Hocus Pocus too. We see that like sort of like sucking, and I think I think just it speaks to the horrors of fearing
being sucked,
getting old. The horror of getting sucked.
And we started at the beginning about you being born to now. See, I think this is the line here. So no, I think there's
get
that
sucked
horror
or be sucked.
Yeah, but there's that horror of aging and like raisening and like, you know, being like becoming older. I think that's, you know, that's a common theme in many horror films for sure, because people tend to want to live forever. That's like the glory and beauty of, you know, vampire life and all that kind of stuff too. Is
immortality,
the romanticization of immortality. Exactly.
Yeah, you know,
exactly.
I was thinking about it because they give it to Jacques, right, who turns into this like awesome werecat kind of thing. But I'm like, they're like, he wanted immortality, so we gave it to him. And they're like, that's great, but you just got to be the fairy guy forever. That's just your job. I don't know, man. That doesn't sound like the best job. I feel like you'd want to go off and see the world. He's like, no, just run this ferry forever.
Yeah.
He's
I
kind of a
mean,
Renfield a little bit, but does he go and do other
A
stuff
little
though?
bit.
Maybe like
I
he's
don't
able to
know.
well,
access the city.
if you've lived in New Orleans, you'd understand why you'd choose there to be immortal.
Because nobody's
Yeah.
looking at you. Getting away with it, you mean?
Yeah, you can just be yourself. You can just hide away at the local bar under the Zydeco jazz tunes and
That's right.
live your life.
Uh, I really like the effect of when we first see the zombies, they have the skeleton that the flesh grows on the skeleton, which is really, really cool. And then later we get to see flesh dissolve off of them at the end, where of course they are bested. But you know, I think I think this movie goes harder than I thought it would, but then it gives my brain going like, what if we had like a really hard Scooby-Doo movie? Like, what if it? No, never mind.
I think this was the really hard Scooby-Doo movie.
Like,
This is
but
pretty
like
hard
live
for kids.
Okay, I was thinking live action, but like if you took them and put
Are you
them
talking
in
about like the new, like how they have all the like, what's his face, the Winnie the Pooh movies now, like that are
yeah, I
super
guess
fucked
so.
up?
I've not delved into those yet. But I'm just like, my poo.
I love it. I love the people
Distressing.
who are like waiting for like the clock to turn over, like, oh, now
Yeah,
you are public
Mickey's
domain.
time!
Like they have made it ready to go. So we always ask, how do you survive the horror movie that we're covering today? So how would you survive this movie?
I think that I would survive by essentially becoming one of the cat people. I think that I'd be like, no, like I'm really not here to cause any trouble, and I can help Lena cook. Or
I want the immortality, but I don't want to be stuck on that island forever. That does not sound fun.
yeah. I
But then you
don't.
could read all the books you wanted, Julia, and just have
That
them
is
sent
true.
there.
That is
You could
true.
live that dream that you want, that you know that was taken away in in one of those first episodes of Twilight Zone, you know, where it's like, could have read all those books.
Right.
My
I feel like
Yep.
purposely going after ghosts is not a good idea. I would say if you
Right.
want to be a survivor of things, purposely trying to provoke them, don't do that. That's not, and it's all for naught, right? Because Daphne loses the fucking footage anyway in quicksand. I was waiting for the reveal of Beau to like yank it out and be like, no, it's fine. And like, nope.
I thought
gone.
an alligator or like snake bite. I thought that's how he was gonna come back and be like, oh, like is trying to catch Mona, and then he ends up like actually catching the camera or something. Do you know what I mean? As it like goes into the bayou. So
I have a scary theory. I mean, I guess I thought of it more like how would I survive like on the villainous side of things.
Okay.
I probably would have been one of the soul suck tourists. Otherwise, I think I would have just gone for some peppers and gone on the wrong weekend of the harvest moon.
The thing is like Terry and I have done almost 500 episodes of this show, and it really does bleed into your brain in a way where like, okay, I'm going to go with this random person to this random house that I don't know. And then there's this random guy there who's kind of sketchy, and there's cats. Like, I was just like, no, it's fine. I think it's okay. It's okay. But then, you know, on the other side of that, you get too cautious. You don't do anything with your life. So, you know, you got to be happy. How do you do it?
Exactly.
I
think that we're going to have some sort of reveal. Like, I feel like, you know, much like Simone, I think that like Erica Kirk is going to be like, and I've been getting away with it for 200 years.
My goodness. Kristin, it's been so nice to meet you and talk to you about this cool movie and hear about your creative stuff. We need to hear about where people can find you online if they want to talk to you.
And follow your Twitch and all that kind of good stuff.
Like to plug.
Yes. You can find me on all platforms as Very Genuine, or I think Twitter is Genuine Kristin, but I'm more there to stalk than I am to participate in society. And you can find me playing shooters or Animal Crossing or Mario Party on my Twitch channel. I am going to stream myself drinking to death on Arc Raiders this coming weekend. I don't know when the pod's coming out, but just follow me on Twitch. It's at Very Genuine as well, for lots of online shenanigans.
Yay!
We love shenanigans. I get up to shenanigans in 2 other podcasts: The Losers Club, all about Stephen King, and JodoWOWsky, all about Alejandro Jodorowsky. And I also have 2 films if you'd like to watch Out of Print. It is streaming pretty much everywhere. And then I have a Stephen King film called I Know What You Need, which you can find on Arrow's Player, or message me if you'd like to see it. And where can they find Horror Movie Survival Guide, Terry?
All over the internet, Julia. We're everywhere they want to be. A Horror Movie Survival Guide on all of the major platforms, or We Are Into Survival at some of the other platforms. But you'll find us if you find us on one of them. You'll find us the rest of the way. We have link trees on all of those good things. Hope you guys enjoy your beautiful week. Thank you again, Kristin. I love you. I'm so happy you were here. Like, my whole heart. Just what a delight. And to talk Scooby-Doo, my goodness.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Scooby's black.
I know. All right. Have a great week, everybody. We'll talk with y'all real soon. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you for listening. Horror Movie Survival Guide is independently produced by Terry Gamble, Julia Marchesi, and Sierra Ryan. Hey, that's me. If you would like to support the show, find us on patreon.com/horror movie survival guide.